Hey Shalloners, welcome back. Well, recently I did a video on how to identify a toxic friend and cut them off, and basically like when you need to cut them off. And I used Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez as a prime example. And today we're going to keep on talking about that, only we're going to make it a little bit more specific. How to cut off a friend you actually still have to see all the time, because unfortunately that's usually the reality. We can't just like hack someone out of our life and hack off a complete sector of our life. At least that's not what we should have to do in order to get away from someone who isn't really that good for us. But first, just want to remind you guys, if you have a love question of your own, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO and click chat. And follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO. And be sure to listen to the new podcast, Girl on Top. ShallonXO is now available every place that podcasts are found. And on the podcast, I answer your best questions from the week so that we can all benefit from the advice together. So Taylor and Selena. So the video that I posted, I gave a little bit of dirt on why they had a falling out, and within like the hour, they had made an announcement like they're friends or whatever. Literally, these bitches haven't talked in like so long, and they did not have a good relationship, and now they're like back together. And so many people in the comments were like jumping down my throat, and it's like that they're an example, okay? They're an example. I go to church. Not because I'm super religious, I'm actually like not very, but I like sermons because sermons impart wisdom. And in the sermons, they don't talk about someone I specifically know. They talk about people from the Bible. And I can still take the wisdom from those stories, even though I don't know the people involved, or even though maybe that relationship actually wasn't the way the Bible told it, because it's an example. There's an example called The Tortoise and the Hare. It's a fable. And when I heard that, and I'm betting when you heard that, you didn't say, I don't know any tortoises and any hares, and maybe that's not really what happened. It's an example. That's the whole point of a story. I don't care if a story imparts wisdom and the main character is Kris Jenner or Jesus or a tortoise. I can still learn to get something out of it, even if the people as the example aren't in my life and I don't know the precise exact story. Do you understand? Because I feel like that wasn't something I was going to have to explain. I thought everyone kind of was on the same page that like, we're not here to talk about celebrities. Like, yes, they're the vehicle. They are the vehicle, and the wisdom is the passenger in that vehicle. And that's the thing that matters. But apparently that did need explaining. So if you're a Selena or a Taylor stan, I'm so sorry that you're so concerned with them and not with enriching your life. And I use Selena as an example a lot. You guys like, you have it out for her. She makes me money. She makes me money. This is my job. And people click on Selena videos, and she's also a mess and not a great person and a really crappy friend. So, that kind of all adds up to me as a great person to do a video on, because we all have some sort of Selena in our life. Sometimes we have a Taylor. Sometimes we've been the Taylor. Sometimes we've been the Selena. But I'm trying to help you guys learn from examples. 99% of you guys get this. 99.9, but just for the little fraction of people who this is like kind of over their head of a concept, there you go. So, you know what? Let's talk about Taylor and Selena. Maybe these two got back together. Maybe one of them had a come to Jesus moment. Maybe Selena cleaned herself up. She has a lot of substance abuse issues. She's kind of a liar. She stabs her friends in the back. Maybe she's like, you know what? I'm out of the woods. I'm back. I was the person you were friends with when we were 14 and I was a normal human being. Maybe Taylor is like, no one is friends with, where's my squad? I need people. Taylor is a girl's girl, but she is the queen bee. And what does a queen need? Drones. She is the leader and she needs a pack. And maybe she kind of is like, well, you know what? I'd rather have one follower than like no friends. Who knows? But you know what? Again, I don't care. I care about helping you guys with your interpersonal relationships. I don't care about helping Taylor and Selena. They have private jets. They can help themselves. They can fly away from their bullshit. We can't always do that though. When we have to cut off someone toxic, chances are we've had to cut them off because we've given them a lot of chances. We have done the good work of acknowledging what consequences are going to be and then deploying those consequences. I'll talk about that more in a bit. And now we need to repel borders, you know? But again, that's not always realistic. Sometimes it's someone we work with. Sometimes it's someone in our group of friends, in our school, in our job, on our block, in our family that we have to put some distance between. And it's not like with guys where you can break up. Like you're supposed to break up with guys. There's songs about it. There's books. There's movies. That's kind of like the process of being a girl and just a human being. You fall in love, you break up. You're not supposed to break up with friends. You know, at least that's the way it feels. It's the way it always feels to me. It feels so awful and so unnatural. Like I've said before, I'm an only child. And so my friends are like my family. And if I call someone my good friend, like I mean that. Like I don't just cut people off. Like if you're in the circle in the nest, like you are in it. So when I've had to really like cut off someone toxic, like it is an ocean of agony went before it. You know, it's not something I do lightly. So here is what I do when it's someone I still have to be around. Like I was saying, consequences. Also, like I was saying, we're supposed to break up with guys, but we're not supposed to break up with girls. And in fact, a friendship breakup, like a sit down and we're not friends anymore, is often like not the best thing to do. The best thing to do is sit them down. And we're going to use Taylor and Selena as an example. Get the memo of like Taylor being done with Selena's endless drama with Justin Bieber. If I were Taylor, I would have sat her down and be like, you know what? And let's push aside the drug and the alcohol issues. Let's just focus on the run-of-the-mill fuckboy thing. Like, I can't hear about him one more time. I cannot hear about Justin one more time. He makes you miserable. I can feel your personality just drain away. It is all you think about. I know it's all you think about because it's all you talk about. And if you think about it more than you talk about it, I mean, your mind must just be so inflamed. And it hurts us to see you like that. So, look, we're not going to feed into this anymore. No more talking about him at dinner. No more bitching about it over sushi. Either get the help, get into some therapy. I will help you find a therapist. I will sit on the phone with your insurance and we will do that together. But I cannot be a part of that circus anymore. It's draining on me and it's hurting me to watch you. Sometimes that's a wake-up call people need. You know, like we all get sort of used to like our own micro toxicity. I say micro because we don't want to think that we're the toxic ones. But you know, it's part of like the social thing. It's like, oh, the fuck boy, the good guy fuck boy again. And sometimes people need to be like, no, like you're like shooing away a cat. Stop that. And sometimes people are like, oh my God, like they don't realize what they've become, you know? Friends who do that about like their weight. I've had to be like, I don't want to hear you say one more thing about your weight for the next 6 months. Go to the gym or be quiet or learn to love yourself. I will help you do all of those things, but I can't hear you bitch about it every single time we go to dinner. But sometimes those wake-up calls don't work. And that's when in your mind and to them, you have to deploy and set consequences. So you can say to your friend if you're Taylor, you can say to Selena, like, if you text me about him, I can't answer texts about Justin. I can't do it. I will talk to you about anything else. Like I said, I'll help you find a therapist, but prepare yourself to like be ignored. Like I'm going to ignore those texts. I just simply cannot engage with it. And if they still do it, you got to stick to that. And they can't come to you and be like, we are so mean. I mean, they can and they might if they're manipulative, you know, and people just want to get what they want. They want their way. You can be like, I'm sorry. Like I told you I was serious. Like I cannot be a part of this. So then say that there's this like schism between you two, right? The last thing you want in any sort of group setting is tension. It's awful. And then people are choosing sides and you're like, ugh. And it becomes like worse than whatever the reason was that you had to cut them off, you know? So in the past, I have kind of gone on, not the offensive, but I've taken the initiative and I've gone around to my friends and been like, look, I cannot have Selena in my life to the degree that she was. I cannot hear about Justin again. She doesn't listen to any of my advice. She commandeers all of our conversations. We're all feeding into this and making it worse because we're giving her that attention. And she doesn't differentiate anymore between positive and negative attention. And I can't do it. So I'm not saying you guys got to cut her off, but I'm saying for me, I would prefer to be where she is not. So if you guys want to go to brunch without me, no hard feelings. If you guys want to go to movies or the festival, that's fine. But like, I need to put some distance and I don't want to put it between me and the rest of the group, you know? So we can do our own thing, but I've also told her this as well. And I'm not trying to put you in the middle and I'm not making anyone choose sides. I just need you to know, like, this is sort of my emotional line in the sand. And then if people want to choose sides and be petty, they can. And that's like, I've used this example before. It's like when you come home tired and you look at your pores in the mirror, you know that like ostensibly, you don't want to find anything, right? You want your skin to be perfect, Hailey Baldwin, flawless, poreless skin. But when you do find something, you're like, oh, I'm going to go for that. And it's like, that's how I feel when people reveal their pettiness. I'm like, oh, I see you now, and I'm going to squeeze you out of my life. Okay? Because people will bandwagon on drama if they're dramatic, similarly toxic people. It's like, cool, like Selena and Lena Dunham could like, or whoever sided with Selena, or if that was even thing, you know what I mean? They can go scratch. They can go form their own band of weirdos. I'm going to stay here with the healthy people, and maybe there's only one left. Maybe there's none left. Maybe it's just me on my mountain of boundaries, my mountain of healthiness. And it's like, if that's the deal, I'd rather know that than not know that. I would rather know if I'm surrounded by fakes and unhealthy people so that I can go out and cultivate a new tribe, a new squad of my own, a new healthy band of people, right? But what if it's not like a friend thing? What if it's a work thing? And what if you think cutting this person off is like going to sort of like poke the hornet's nest? Do you know what I mean? Because that's not good. Don't you love how comically large water bottles are in Italy? I'm in Rome right now. It's wonderful. And yes, I will never forget about you guys, even though I'm in Italia. So if it's a work situation, kind of do the same thing. You can also get out in front of something and go to people who you feel like your allies are and be like, hey, just to let you know, like I had kind of a weird conversation with Caitlin the other day. Like I had to be like, you know, I can't keep doing your work and I can't let you keep taking credit for mine. So just in case she starts going off about something, I just want to let you know that I would like this to just remain a professional environment. You know, I'm not here. This isn't high school. Like I'm not here to make friends, but I'm not here to make enemies. So I just want to give you the heads up so that you don't get caught up in the drama. And then kind of say nothing, because that's what happens. You try to get ahead of it too much and you talk about it too much, and then it becomes a thing. It's like any scandal. Like when you see a celebrity, an example, here's another example, maybe not literal. When you have a celebrity who does something stupid, like say they tweet something stupid, I always think it's so much worse when they apologize or they offer this big explanation and blah, blah, blah. Because it's like, shh, if you just let it alone, it'll die out. But when you feed into it, even in what you think is like an ameliorative way, like you're, you know, trying to make this better and quash and whatever, it has a habit of just feeding into it. It's just fuel for the fire. And fuel is like neither good nor bad. It's just fuel. But if you think like the other person, the Selena, is going to start talking shit, like kind of just let her, you know, because that is only going to strengthen your position as coming from a place of, I don't want toxicity in my life. But like if the Selena wants to make those kind of statements to people, she's only going to be making herself look stupid. She's only going to show her ass, and you, the tailor, you're just going to look even more right. And people are going to go like, I get it. And maybe those other friends don't have the guts that you do to put up the boundaries that are necessary. That's their problem, honestly. Like you don't need to be concerned about that. Let's see, what are some other times when you're going to have to like cut people off? Oh, when they're in a position of power. I get a lot of messages from you guys about girls at church. Evidently, church is like a hotbed of just Regina Georginess, you know? And sometimes it's possible to just fade out of situations. Other times, like you have to stay in it, and they're in a position of power. They're the youth group leader. They're your boss. They're your superior. They're your big sister. Again, you want to try to just put as much distance as possible. And here's another thing. What if you don't have that big conversation with this toxic person because you just don't want to? Like, you don't have to, by the way. Like, that's something you can do if you really want to salvage the friendship and you're like, hey, this is like the last chance. And you can say that to them, be like, this is sort of my last attempt to like right the ship of our friendship. We've grown apart. You're always talking about this guy. I feel like you might have a substance abuse problem that you're refusing to address. You're acting really judgmental. Like you're saying disparaging things about me and you're cutting me down. Like you could, if there's like a thing, like a monster under the bed that you think if we could fix that, we could get back to a good place, then address it. But again, you don't have to. If you're like, I just need to get away, you can do that. And that's when you want to avoid the big friendship breakups because, like I said, that might only antagonize someone who's toxic and they might just smell blood in the water and be like, what do you mean, Taylor? What a bitch you are. I can't believe it. You know, if they're drama people, they'll find a reason. They'll find something to say. So just be busy. Here's an example we can learn from fuckboys. I've never seen a population with more viable excuses than fuckboys. They should honestly publish it in a book. Here's a compendium of things to say when you actually don't want to hang out with someone, but you kind of just like are too pussy to say that. Oh, I'm really busy. Oh, I fell asleep. Okay. Can we just, it's 2019. Can we not all fall for the I fell asleep thing anymore? Can we just kind of be done with that? Go back in your mind palace and think about the things a fuckboy has said to you and be like, and then employ those on people you don't want to hang out with. And eventually they'll get the message. I mean, we don't with fuckboys, we see what we want to see, but like when it comes to friendship, there's less of that like rose-colored glasses, you know? I mean, sometimes I've wanted to say to girls, like, please get the hint. I don't want to hang out with you. If it's like kind of a work related thing, it's like someone I met through work. It's like, we should grab coffee. I was like, we should not grab coffee. We should stick to over email. This is fine. Okay. No, I'm not doing that. Just get the hint. So fade away. Gosh, I'm busy, blah, blah, blah. If they come to you, if it's like a Selena Taylor situation, she's crying about the Justin again. Oh gosh, that sucks. I gotta go. Don't feed into it. Because I've learned, like I said, some people can't differentiate between positive and negative communication. Like the person I had to cut off who was Selena-ing me, I was like, I would get so mad at her. I'm like, you sound like a broken record. I'm like, I can't believe how many times you're going to like tell me about this. Like literally it's been a year and a half, like enough. And she would just ignore it. The loop. She just wanted attention. And it did not matter if I was saying something nice or something mean. It didn't matter. It was all fuel. So I had to snuff it out. And I finally just stopped responding. I don't respond to anything she texts me about that guy. I'll respond to other things, respond to something about a new guy. This one scenario, clipped. I don't do it. And they can get mad and they can talk shit to your other friends and people can ask you, what's going on? Why are you fighting with Selena? And you don't have to give an answer, by the way. Like you don't need to explain your boundaries to anyone ever. People ask me questions all the time on the internet, completely out of pocket things. And it's like, I don't have to answer you. People ask me questions in real life and I'm just like, you can sit there and wait. It's going to be a long day for you because I'm not answering. That's my right. And then if you feel like you're demanding information from me, we got a problem. You're not going to like the Shallon that you encounter if that's actually what's going on. So remember that your boundaries are yours. No one else has to agree with them or to them. And no one else actually has to live it because no one else is living with the consequences of having no boundaries. No one else is getting those midnight phone calls. And if they are, again, that's their problem. And you could coach them through how to get past that and set up their own moat of emotional defense. But you don't have to like crumble your walls just to keep the peace because that isn't peace. If there is no peace inside your mind, I don't give a fuck what's going on in your group, whether it's family, work, social, it doesn't matter. You have to have the peace inside that you can then bring that peace to the group. But if you're sacrificing your own peace of mind and your happiness just to placate other people, no, we'll find you some new friends. You can be my friends. And my friends are great. If you guys have more questions on this or any other friend-related thing, leave it here in the comment section. Let me know. And if you want to chat privately one-on-one, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO and click chat to get connected with me personally. No bots, all Shallon right away. And like I said, listen to the podcast, Girl on Top. Shallon XO is available Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and every place else you listen to your favorite pods or casts. I don't know. Podcast. And again, find me on Instagram and Twitter @ShallonXO.